Good morning, it's 6 a.m. GMT and you're listening to the Starr Breakfast News with me, Naana Acquah. Coming up, Parliament approves some ministerial appointments, including Haruna Agboja and Eric Opoku. Also coming up, Minister-designate for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs pushes for the election of MMDCEs on non-partisan basis.
I disagree that it must be done on partisan basis, and that is the bone of contention between the two sides. We said MMDCs must be elected on non-partisan basis.
And if you are vying for an MMDCE slot, obey your parents in the Lord, as undermining the MP for the area could cost you your job.
As a minister responsible for local governance, when giving the nod, having been a whip in Parliament for 12 years, Mr. Chairman, I will not, and I'll repeat it, I will not allow any DCE to disrespect any member of Parliament.
And later, National Security Coordinator calls for decisive and proactive measures in addressing the criminal veil in the renewed chieftaincy clash. We've got this and more coming right up. Do stay.
Starr News is coming to you live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady, Zeps 95.9 FM in Zebila, Nissim 100.1 FM in Lamshao, My Star Radio in the USA. Also live on Facebook on Starr 103.5 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Starr 103.5 FM. Starr News. Informed, in depth, in touch.
Thank you for tuning in to the Starr Breakfast News. My name is Naana Acquah. Now, Parliament has approved 3 high-profile ministerial nominees, signalling a step forward in the government's push to kickstart government business. Haruna Idrisu has been confirmed as the Minister for Education, Kwame Governs Agboja as the Minister for Roads and Highways, and Eric Opoku as the Minister for Food and Agriculture. The Appointments Committee, after a lengthy vetting process, endorsed the 3 ministers for their respective positions, citing their qualifications, experience and proposed strategies for their ministries. It follows the confirmation of ministers designate for finance, energy and the Attorney General. During a plenary session chaired by 2nd Deputy Speaker Andrew Zesiama, Parliament engaged in extensive deliberations on the nominees' credentials and plans to address pressing national issues. Following the discussions, a vote was held, resulting in the approval of all 3 nominees. Here are excerpts.
At the vetting yesterday, discharged himself excellently and displayed mastery over the sector. We are confident that given the opportunity as Minister responsible for roads and highways, Ghana's roads infrastructure will see some massive improvement.
In project management, infrastructure development, I believe that he is good for the job that he has been appointed to do. My only challenge in that sector is the debt of 1.5 billion Ghana cedis awaiting him. But I know that with collaboration with the Minister for Finance, he will be able to scale through to make sure that our roads are worked on.
The question is, all those in favor that motion listed 13 in today's order paper be adopted, say aye. All those against say no. Honorable members, it's obvious the ayes have it. The motion is hereby adopted.
Meanwhile, Minority Leader in Parliament Alexander Afenyo-Markin has expressed disappointment over the perceived lack of gender balance in President John Dramani Mahama's ministerial appointments.
We are also disappointed in the choice of the president. There are a lot of women on his side. We've had over 30 women being elected to Parliament from the NDC majority side. We have passed the affirmative action law, and of all these hard-working women, only a few of them have so far been given substantive ministerial appointments. Is it the case that they are matching them for deputy ministerial appointments? That is not right. Our women cannot be second-class appointees.
Still on the appointment and confirmation of ministers, the Minister Designate for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Ahmed Ibrahim, is pushing for the election of metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives on non-partisan basis. The debate over electing MMDCEs has persisted for years in Ghana, with proponents arguing that such a move would foster accountability and deepen local-level democracy. However, disagreements regarding whether the election should be partisan or non-partisan have hindered progress. According to the Banda MP, non-partisan elections for MMDCEs would be the best approach to ensuring their independence from political control. He was speaking during his vetting by the Appointment Committee of Parliament yesterday.
Do you agree to the fact that we should allow MMDCs to be elected? And secondly, does it have to be done on partisan basis? These are the questions I want to ask. Mr. Chairman, one, in the first question, I do agree that MMDCs must be elected. The second question is, I disagree that it must be done on partisan basis, and that is the bone of contention between the two sides. We said MMDCs must be elected on non-partisan basis, and you said they must be elected on partisan basis. We sold these two views to Ghanaians. We had 184, you had 88. It means Ghanaians totally agree with election of MMDCs on non-partisan basis, and I believe that if there's any time that this should be done, it should be now.
The Banda MP has also vowed not to allow an MMDCE to disrespect an MP.
If the servants want to look at what the chiefs are getting, there will be that confusion. In the same way, when the DCE is also looking at what the servant is also getting, will be thinking of destabilizing that servant. And this has been the source of conflict among DCEs and MPs. But if everybody will look at their jurisdiction, that conflict will be done away with. However, as a minister responsible for local governance, when given the nod, having been a whip in Parliament for 12 years, Mr. Chairman, I will not, and I'll repeat it, I will not allow any DCE to disrespect any member of Parliament. In the same way, approved, I will also make sure there's a common platform for DCs and members of Parliament to be able to have frequent meetings for us to understand our various job descriptions.
Now, in some related developments, members of the governing National Democratic Congress in the Ho Central constituency are angry about what they describe as a snub by President Mahama in the appointment of ministers. The aggrieved members allegedly went on a rampage yesterday, setting the party office ablaze. According to them, the constituency worked hard to ensure that the party secured the second highest votes in the Volta region during the last general election. The timely intervention of the Ghana Fire Service prevented the fire from spreading to nearby shops. We'll bring you more in subsequent bulletins. Now let's shift our attention to security. As part of efforts to ensure safety and security in the Nkwanta South municipality of the Oti region, National Security Coordinator DCOP Abdul Razak Osman has called for decisive and proactive measures to deal ruthlessly with criminal elements veiled in chieftaincy and land disputes in the country. The renewed violence claimed 4 lives and 8 houses burnt down in the area, which has forced several residents to flee to neighboring communities to seek refuge. Speaking during a visit to Nkwanta in the Nkwanta South municipality of the Oti region, DCOP Osman stressed the urgent need to dismantle criminal operations hiding behind chieftaincy and land disputes, highlighting their potential to disrupt national peace efforts and security.
Yes, in these couple of weeks, chieftaincy and land issues are giving us a lot of troubles, and the security on individual basis will not be able to control it. And so for this particular era, we are looking for some specialized form of cooperation between the various security agencies. We must work and not discriminate in every respect of our work, because if you want to do that, we will not be able to go anywhere. Now, I am looking more to see proactiveness in the way in which we fight this sort of disputes. I wouldn't call this one dispute because it is outright crime. Shooting into security vehicles and shooting into private vehicles, or even going to the houses of people to kill them. This is absolute crime. And this one, we must deal with it, and we must deal with it ruthlessly.
Now, member of the AU Advisory Board on Corruption, Edem Senanu, is optimistic that the appointment of Professor Francis Dodu as leader of the National Anti-Corruption Programme will enhance the fight against corruption. Despite his optimism, Mr. Senanu warns that failure to effectively tackle corruption could affect the goodwill the current administration enjoys. He spoke to Starr News.
Any arrangement where the president is seized with the facts relating to good governance and anti-corruption and can bring his office to bear to influence faster actions, I think is one that is credible and one that has shown in the past historically that it can bring us good results and outcomes.
Well, that's all we have for the Starr Breakfast News. My name is Naana Acquah. For more news updates, click on starfm.com.gh. Enjoy the rest of your day.